Today on episode 57, Sony Michel. Is he the key to the Patriots' playoff hopes? And Gronkowski, is he back? This and more, so stay tuned.
Welcome to The Sports Perspective, an American football fancast about the New England Patriots and also news from around the league. Here is your host, Roy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Perspective, and first off, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and a Thanksgiving weekend. It's great to be back, had a week off, and it's been a happy week, been a very happy week. You have to love this past weekend if you're a Patriots fan. They beat the hated Jets 27-13, always a good time. And there were some strange games this weekend. It was a weird Thanksgiving weekend. You know, the Dallas Cowboys, they came to life and they beat the Washington Redskins. What's up with that? I thought Dallas was done. And Cleveland, the mighty Cleveland, beat Cincinnati. And I thought for sure the Giants were going to upset Philadelphia. I thought for sure that was going to happen, but Philly pulled it out. And then you have that wild game with Buffalo and Jacksonville. What was up with that? Buffalo beating Jacksonville. And there was a little scuffle in there. Man, Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, they do a lot of talking, but they can't seem to stop anybody from scoring right now. They probably should go back to the drawing board and work on playing some defense. What do you think? But the big one, the Denver Broncos upset the Pittsburgh Steelers. This really hurts Pittsburgh. You know, with that tie they have, this hurts their hopes. I don't think there's no way they're going to get home field in the first round. I don't believe. I don't think there's any way they can get it. Now, if the Patriots flounder again, they may have a chance, but I don't see it happening. I see Pittsburgh losing 1 to 2 more games easily. But I'll tell you, everybody, this is why football is a great sport. The best sport on the planet, in my opinion. You just never know what's going to happen. You never know. And there's some big news coming out of the NFL. ABC is replacing Fox in the 2019 NFL draft coverage. And check this out. According to John Orand of the Sports Business Journal, it won't be a simulcast. They're not going to simulcast it. They're going to have an actual broadcast, and it will be based on more of a casual fan feel. And it's going to be anchored by the ESPN College Day crew. And if you don't know who they are, it's a pretty good pre-show. It's got Reese Davis, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, and Desmond Howard. And if you've never seen it, I suggest check it out. It's a good pre-show. And I'm interested in it. I'm interested to see, you know, what they do and how it's fun for the average fan. Some fans that aren't into the whole, you know, get down deep into the draft and wanting to know all the ins and outs. So keep an eye on that. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. So check it out at draft time. And it's finally happened, people. Blake Bortles finally got benched. Been waiting for this all year long. Cody Kessler is going to start in week 13, and that's against the Colts. Man, oh God, Blake Bortles. They gave him a huge deal. At the beginning of the year, I was like, all right, well, maybe he can do this. Yeah, no. It's the same old Bortles. I think they need a quarterback. Yeah, they give him all that money, and now they need a quarterback, in my opinion. So we'll have to see what happens there. And I'm just finally glad that Doug Marrone had the balls to do this. But first, he had to fire his offensive coordinator, Hackett. He had to get rid of him. But it's about damn time. Took long enough. But I want to talk about the Patriots. And how about Sony Michel? Let's talk about him for a minute. And I know we have White and Burkhead's coming back. But when Sony Michel is on the field, running like he did Sunday, and in past weeks, the Patriots are a tough team to beat, in my opinion. Because if you can run the ball, especially when it gets cold, it opens up a lot of things. The way people are beating Brady this year, they're getting pressure on him. They're getting pressure in his face, whether it be by blitzing, which, by the way, Brady's one of the worst quarterbacks against the blitz this year, which has never happened in his career. Is it an age thing? Is it the line's not doing their job thing? We'll have to see. But either way, running the ball solves a lot of that. And this is the way you beat the Patriots and Brady. You get pressure on them. And if you run the ball well, good luck to you. Because the Patriots will probably beat you that way. I'm telling you, this could turn into a tough running team by the end of the year. Now, like I said, Brady is one of the worst quarterbacks against the blitz. Where in past seasons, he was in the top 2 or 3 easily. But now, if you're going to try and blitz, you do a little draw play, a little screen pass, even a running play. If you run the ball the opposite side and then blitz from the other side, you get a huge gain, if not even a touchdown. So, having Michel, I think, is going to make a big difference. Big difference. And the team just looks so different when he's on the field running the ball and running the ball the way he's been running the ball. This is going to make a big difference on this team going forward. And I think if he stays healthy, I think the Patriots have a shot to go deep in the playoffs. And I'm not saying they go into the Super Bowl, but I think they can go deep. If he gets hurt and Burkhead stays healthy, all right, we still got a shot. But I like Sony Michel, man. I'm a Sony Michel guy. And when we drafted him, I said, look out for big things. And he's doing well. He's doing very well. And someone else that did well Sunday was Gronkowski. The Gronkamania is apparently back. He looked pretty good going after footballs. Reaching and fighting for balls in the air. But he still doesn't have that breakaway speed. He could not get separation whatsoever. He used to be able to pull away from defenders when he got the ball, or when he could get separation to get open to catch a ball. He's just not able to do that. He just isn't. Now, will it take a few weeks if he's healthy probably to get back in the swing? Maybe. But I think he's just done. Though he's trying. I give him credit, he looked like he was trying this game. And to be honest, I'd still rather have him over a lot of tight ends in football. The problem is, people aren't double teaming him anymore. They're covering him with a linebacker or a safety, and it's not much of a problem. He's still a big, strong guy, so he's able to fight for balls, which is, hey, I'll take that. They're not matching him up with corners, or they're not double teaming him, leaving other people open. Which is kind of what you expect from having him on the field. But it's not happening. Not happening at all. So, we'll have to see going forward how this affects the offense. You know, they have a lot of weapons. Gordon could make a big difference. If he and Brady can actually start clicking. And I know you're saying, what do you mean? He had a bunch of yards Sunday. Yeah, he did. He made a couple of great catches, though, too. He caught one ball that was like, I don't know, about a foot behind him. It was a great catch over the middle. And then he had a dive for one that was a low throw, which might have been on purpose so it couldn't get picked. But if him and Brady can get in sync, and if he can start hitting him in stride, hitting Gordon right in stride, let him use his speed and strength, man, we could get some easy scores going forward. But speaking of that, let's talk about the Patriots win Sunday. Now, we all know they won 27-13. Go over a little bit of stats for you. Now, Tom Brady, he was 20 of 31 for 283 yards and 2 touchdowns. Good old Josh McCown, who, I've always liked Josh McCown. He was 26 of 45 for 276 yards and 1 TD. And my boy, Sony Michel, had 21 carries for 133 yards and that was a 6.3 average with 1 touchdown. And Crowell for the Jets, he had 6 for 30 yards, and it's a 5-yard average. Not bad, actually. But they were running the ball early, and then it seemed like they started passing the ball a lot. They weren't that far behind, but they just seemed like they were trying to take advantage of the Patriots secondary, and it just didn't work. Now, in receiving, Julian Edelman had only 4 catches, but they were for 84 yards, and that was a 21-yard average. And he had 1 touchdown. And then, like I said earlier, Josh Gordon had 5 receptions for 70 yards, which was a 14-yard average. And Big Gronk only has 3 catches, but they were for 56 yards, and that was a whopping 18.6 yards average with a touchdown. And for the Jets, Chris Herndon had 7 for 57 yards with an 8.1 average. And Jermaine Curse, whatever happened to him, geez. He was 6 for 66 yards with 11.0 average. And then he actually had the touchdown. And Quincy Enunawa. Yeah, say that fast 5 times. Enunawa. There you go, Enunawa. Was 4 for 73 with an 18.2 yard average. So not too bad. The Jets still got a little bit going there, and the Patriots' bend but don't break defense was active as always. And speaking of defense, let's talk about the Patriots' defense. Trey Flowers and Dietrich Weiss each had a sack. And so, you had a couple takeaways in the game. We got a couple sacks. Defense played okay. We had interception. So, they played okay in this game. I mean, they didn't give up any huge plays, which was nice. But overall, it was a good game, and against a division rival. The Jets always play the Patriots well. They always do. They always play them well. You know, Josh Gordon had another good game, made some very nice catches, and him and Brady are just clicking a little bit. If they could just get a little bit more precise, this could be a great duo. Just got to work on some timing. They could be an explosive quarterback wide receiver tandem if they can just get a little bit more timing down. Now, the Patriots had over 200 yards rushing in this game, which is pretty amazing. And the last time that happened was Jonas Gray. Remember him? Yeah, he wasn't in the league very long. He did it in 2014 against the Colts. He did it himself. And they mentioned it during the game, and he just rolled over the Colts like he was a one-man team. He just ran them over, and then he got pretty much full of himself. And then he was off the Patriots and went to Miami, and that was the last place I heard from him. And I believe he's out of the league now. I don't think he's even in the league anymore. But that's what happens. You get cocky and think you're better than everybody else. Bye-bye. See ya. But it was a good win on a tough divisional opponent. I don't care if the Jets are 1-15, 0-95. I don't care. The Jets are always tough against the Patriots. But now we're on to Minnesota, as Belichick would say. Now, we have a late game here at 4:25 on Sunday, and that's going to be on Fox. And we're facing Kirk Cousins. Yep. And to be upfront and be honest, I am not a Kirk Cousins guy. I don't think they should have signed him in the offseason. Mark my words, I guarantee you, he is not going to win them a championship ever. Sorry if anyone is listening from Minnesota, but it's not going to happen. One of the women I work with at my job is from Minnesota, and she's just dreading next Sunday. I think it's going to be a good game, though, but she's just totally dreading it. And we were talking Kirk Cousins, and she's like, I know you're not a Kirk Cousins guy. I'm like, no, I'm not. Not at all. And they got some good players, though. They have some very good players. And I would actually root for them more if they didn't have Cousins, but maybe I can root for them when they're not playing the Patriots in spite of Cousins. But they have running back Latavius Murray, who has over the season has 455 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, which is pretty damn good. And Adam Thielen, who's just setting the world on fire. He has 1,138 yards receiving, which is crazy, with 93 receptions and 8 touchdowns. And Stephon Diggs, the hero from last postseason, he has 790 yards with 79 receptions with 6 touchdowns. So they have some weapons on offense. So that defense, hope to God they're on their game, because this is going to be a tough game. I think we're going to win, but it's going to be a tough game. Now, on defense, they're nothing to sneeze about either. They're very good on defense. They're third in yards per game with 314 yards. They're fourth in rushing allowed with 93, and they're fifth in passing yards allowed with 221. And they're 10th in points allowed. It's all right, with 22.4. So it's a very good defense also. And they can pressure the quarterback, which is, again, that's how you beat Brady or any quarterback, but especially Brady. You have to get in his face. You don't have a choice. You have to pressure him. You have to get in his face, or you're going to lose. You have to get pressure on him. There's no ifs, ands, or what's about it. These are two good teams. It's going to be a good test for the Patriots. And just to see where they stack up against the NFL better teams, good teams. Now, I do believe they're going to win. And again, and I've said this before, mainly because they're at home. When you're at home, you tend to win more of your games when you're a good team. Now, Cousins will probably help. He'll throw an interception or fumble the ball, or he won't help his team. He'll blow it somehow for them. But it's going to be a fun game to watch. So now I say this, I probably just jinxed the Patriots. He'll probably throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns and run for 2, and he'll be the hero of Minnesota to watch. But I believe the Patriots win 35-24. And I do believe the Patriots will live up to the challenge. I believe Sony Michel is going to run the ball well. Josh Gordon, I think he might have a touchdown in this game. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a long pass. 30, 40 yards kind of thing. And I think Gronk has a great chance to score again. So I do think the Patriots have a good shot. And I have a feeling on defense, we're going to have a few sacks. I don't know where this is coming from. I just have a feeling we're going to get some pressure on Cousins. I just have a feeling Belichick will come up with something. I really do. I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming that'll happen, but I don't know. So we will have to see what happens. But everyone, that is going to be the show for today. If you're listening on Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, like and subscribe. Apple Podcast, please subscribe, rate, and give me a review. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or want to give your perspective on what was discussed, hit me up on Facebook at Roy Brady. Email sportsperspective17@gmail.com. On Twitter, Roy Brady Jr. Thank you all for listening, and have a great evening.